Percentiles. So much fun to play with. Remember that percent means 100. So when you think about percentile, you're thinking, out of 100, basically. So the median, which falls directly in the middle of a data set, well, directly in the middle of 100 is 50th. So when they talk about the 50th percentile, that is equal to the median. Those two things are the same. So when you're using Excel, perhaps, you could use the median formula or the percentile formula using the 50th percentile, and you'd get the same result. Now, Excel is fabulous for finding percentiles that are not nice and easy. And when I say nice and easy, I mean outside of 25, 50, and 75. Because percentile means if you had 100 people in a row, percentiles would be easy, right? 100 people in a row, 18th percentile would be the 18th person because it's out of 100. But how many times do we have 100 people in a data set? We don't, right? Generally, we have all sorts of random numbers. So finding the weird percentiles like 18th or even the 10th percentile is not always easy. Excel will help you do that. However, I claim that 25, 50, and 75th percentiles are easy to find by hand, and if you know how to find the median, they are. So recall that the median is the number directly in the middle. So we have 10 people in this data set, right, shown by these kind of stick figure-ish. So when I have the 50th percentile here right in the middle, you will see there are 5 people on each side. Well, if you're thinking in terms of 0 to 100, 50 cuts it right in the middle, right? Well, from 0 to 50, halfway between 0 and 50 is 25. So if I would just find the median of these first 5 people, halfway between that is this person. That's my 25th percentile. Similarly, if I go to the top half, between 50 and 100, halfway between 50 and 100 is 75. So it's that person cuts it in half. And you'll notice I have 2 people between each vertical line. We call these quartiles because I have 4 quarters, 4 equal places. Okay? And we're going to do quite a few more examples with this, with numbers, not just people, so you can see this play out. So here we have a data set, and first I just want you to focus on this data set. And you might even want to write this down. I am going to draw on this and diagram it, but you might want to write down just those numbers in the data set so you can really see how this works. So, if we start with finding our median, because you always got to start with 50th percentile. So if I cut these in half, oops, I missed a number. Then this one, 55 directly in the middle. So cut through that number. This is my 50th percentile. Now, I call it like chopping down trees. I chopped down that 55 tree because the median went directly through it. If you chop down a tree, it is dead. You cannot play with it again. So I killed that tree. Now, I'm looking up here. I have 4 numbers. Well, if you're trying to find the median, these 2 are in the middle, and they show you 28, right? The median is in between them. So 28 is the tree that we chopped down there. And on the high side, cross out, here's my 2 middle, 69.5 is the tree. Okay, I hit a wrong button there for a second, sorry. So I chopped down 3 different trees, and you'll notice that at the end, I have, let me change colors, 2 numbers in front of the vertical line, 2 between, 2 between, 2 at the end. So that's a way to check. When you draw your vertical lines in, do you have the same number of numbers between and after each vertical line? So in this particular case, we would say that our 25th percentile was 28, our 50th percentile was 55, and our 75th percentile was 69.5. Breaks it down. That means 25% of the data falls before 28, or 28 or before. Half of the data is before 55, and 75% of the data lies in front of 69.5. That's the meaning of these percentiles. Okay, you can see this one is similar. Again, we have the data set, but when we go to find the initial median, I have 2 numbers. So 40 is the first tree that I chopped down. Since I didn't chop down the 34 or the 46 tree, they stay. So when I go to find the front, I have 5 numbers. The 12 tree is chopped down. And in the second half, the 58 tree is chopped down. Again, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, let's do a problem where we don't have things already marked for us. So we're given this data set. So go ahead, hit pause, write it down. Maybe you even want to try it yourself first. You'll definitely want to try number 2 on your own before we get to it. But here in number 1, we've got 32 all the way up to 72. They're already in order least to greatest. You're welcome. And we want to first start by finding the median. So I'm going to start by just crossing out low to high, low to high, low to high, low to high, low to high. And you notice that 62 is left in the middle. That means 62 is the tree that I'm chopping down. So that's a horrible color. So the 50th percentile is 62. Okay, now let me get rid of my markings. Chop down that tree, can't play with it again. So I go to my front half. I've got 5 numbers. Let's find my median. 52 is the tree that I'm chopping down. So my 25th percentile is 52. I go to the upper half. I've got 5 numbers. 66 is the tree that I'm chopping down. So my 75th is 66. So again, 25% of my data falls in front of 52. 50% of my data falls in front of 62, and 75% of my data falls in front of 66. Or you could think of this as 25% falls after 66 or above 66. And again with the whole 2 numbers, 2 numbers, 2 numbers, 2 numbers. Always will work like that when you're talking about quartiles. All right, let's do one more. If you can do it, try to hit pause and try this one on your own before you watch me do it. But you will notice these numbers are not in order least to greatest. So the first thing you want to do is renumber them or reorder them least to greatest. All right, I try to write them directly under numbers, but using my finger with this marker just doesn't work. So anyway, you've got your numbers. You've got to find your median. So you work your way to the middle, and it falls directly between 75 and 76. So our median, or our 50th percentile, is 75.5. So the 75.5 tree is the one that I chopped down. So when I'm looking for my 25th percentile, I'm looking at the median of this front half. Well, it falls directly between 68 and 70. So my tree that I'm chopping down is the 69 tree, right? Between 68 and 70. Then I go to the upper half to find my 75th percentile. Falls directly between 83 and 87, and that gives me a 75th percentile of 85. You'll notice, wrong color, I have 3 numbers here, 3, 3, 3, split up equally into parts where each has 3 numbers in our data set. So you're really finding the median of the overall data set, then the median of the front half, and the median of the second half. And that is dealing with percentiles. Again, remember that if you want other percentiles, we will use Excel, and I do believe there is an Excel video with percentiles, and if there isn't, there will be soon. Thanks.